Now, this is going to be just a little mini episode, slight video for talking about combat a little bit. The training dummies in the keep are able to allow you to see damage numbers and how much damage you'll deal when hitting certain parts, or if you're just dealing enough damage at all with your weapon. There are also armored dummies. The armored dummies wear the storm vermin armor. You can test out your weapon against armor with them. Now, headshots generally ignore armor except on certain enemies, like Chaos Warriors. But you hit the body, which is hard to do with the hammer, and you're not going to deal much damage at all to the body. Now, if you want to deal damage through armor, you better use charged attacks. Charged attacks have armor piercing generally. Each weapon is itself different, so you may want to use these training dummies to test it out for yourself. You can also test out your ability to cleave. Cleaving enemies is when you generally use a strong attack. Some weapons just naturally have cleave with their light attacks as well. It allows you to see how many enemies you can go through and hit and how much damage you'll be dealing. It's something to note, too, that with armored enemies will stop the damage of your hit. See, I'm not cleaving through to the unarmored enemies now. You can't cleave through armored enemies, so when you see an armored foe in the midst of a bunch of enemies, focus them down immediately, generally with headshots. Characters will even tell you when you should be aiming for the face. You can also use special abilities to get through armor or even clumps of enemies. Chaos Warriors are one of the most heavily armored things in the game. You want to hit them in the head. Most ranged weapons will just bounce off of their armor, and you'll deal very little damage in melee hitting them in the body. You specifically want to hit them in the head. Even with charged blows, you need to hit them in the head.
That's one Chaos Warrior. That's a leech and no mistake.